Last time on Dragon Ball AT, the king told the story of how he attained the Super Saiyan form. The brutality of his mother's death, however, sent the prince on a spiral, pushing him over the edge and tapping into the Super Saiyan transformation as well. With both young Saiyans having achieved the legendary form, how will their opponents react? Find out today!
Oh, Kakarot figured it out too, did he? I shouldn't expect any less after all.
Way to go, Vegeta. You must be having an incredible battle too. Our story continues with Kakarot and Vegeta both immediately having sensed the other's ascension. And upon those two young Saiyans' remarks, we would then see Frieza still visually in a state of panic and confusion, as he would then go on to say,
I thought Saiyans could only turn into apes. What is this? Explain yourself!
As the tyrant would look on, rightly confused, never having seen a Super Saiyan before. And in the next panel, Kakarot would be seen taking a fighting stance for the first time since his ascension. He would then go on to verbally confirm it for Frieza. Don't you know the legends, Frieza? It's obvious. I've become what you fear most, a Super Saiyan. Wasting no time, Kakarot would then dash towards Frieza, breaking the sound barrier with his newly acquired speed. And I will avenge the three you killed! Ha! As expressing his frustration, Kakarot would then land a devastating blow against the Frost Demon's left side of his face, notably shattering the horn on that side as well.
How dare you, monkey!
And as the Emperor would be sent flying off into the distance, Kakarot would then be seen catching the broken horn, as he would then just go on to note, "This looks pretty sharp. Let's see if that's true." As immediately upon saying that, we would then see Kakarot throwing the horn with the trajectory we all knew too well. And in a brutal subsequential panel, we would see just where Kakarot had thrown the horn, as we hear the Emperor's reaction.
You barbaric, insolent worm! You blinded my eye!
Kakarot, however, would show no sympathy for Frieza, as he would just go on to retort, "I don't want to hear it, Frieza. You took a cheap shot on Krillin and the others. I'm just returning the favor for them." Following that exchange, Frieza would then be seen having pulled the horn out of his eye, as in the aftermath, he's rolling on the ground, blood gushing out, writhing in immense pain.
Show you, filthy monkey!
Upon saying that, however, the scene would then shift to the sidelines, as Whis would be seen taking an interest in the fight, now standing near the bodies of the three fallen warriors. And as the angel would sport his usual calm and collected composure, he would then be heard, "And all better." As curiously enough, that's all Whis would say. However, his staff would begin to glow. The mystery wouldn't last long, however, as in the next panel, it's revealed what Whis was referring to, as we see the once lifeless Earthling suddenly revitalized. Moments later, however, the three would seem to have their bearing on reality again, as Krillin would be the first to make mention. Huh? Where am I? I was just about to start on Snake Way. King Yama was telling me about a really cool place to train with some guy named King Kai, where I could get stronger and save the Earth. You know, if we make it out of this one, that is. Oh, back to the land of the living, huh? But how? As Krillin and Gohan would have seemingly normal reactions for two that were just brought back from the dead, Master Roshi, however, would have quite a different reaction, one only fitting to him thus far in the story.
No, I was just about to get her phone number. Huh? Are we alive again?
As it would seem, not even death could keep Roshi's lust in check, as we heard from his last remark. Whis, however, would quickly chime in to clear up the air.
Oh, yes. Quite simply, I revived you.
As Whis' offer to clear up the air would seem to have the opposite effect, as on the contrary, it would raise more questions as the three visibly and verbally went on to express their confusion.
You did what now? I didn't know beings existed like that. Just what are you?
As Krillin would be the only one of the three able to make the words leave his mouth, Whis would then be seen laughing, as he would then just respond, though in more detailed fashion.
You can say I'm a guide of sorts. While on this outing with Kakarot, I can act at my own liberty to an extent. It seemed you all got dealt a bad hand with Frieza, so I figured I'd give you a second chance is all. But if Kakarot loses, you'll likely all be killed again, and that will be permanent.
And with that not so comforting explanation, we would then see Kakarot making note of the events that transpired, as he would then glance back in the direction of Whis.
Hey, yeah, they're alive again. I forgot.
Whis! Oh, right, Frieza! And it would seem Kakarot had impeccable timing with that realization, as when he snaps his attention back to the battle, Frieza would appear to have taken advantage of the slightest bit of time he had, being revealed in his final form, no longer holding anything in reserve.
Now you die, monkey! This is the precipice of my power!
As the two Titans waste no time, they both immediately rush in at one another, shockwaves seen all over from their many clashes. And as we get a closer look at the scene, it would seem that the two are indeed completely even, as in the next exchange, Frieza would be seen landing a devastating kick into Kakarot's stomach. Immediately recovering and seeing an opening, Kakarot would then double axe handle Frieza, sending him shooting towards the ground at breakneck speed. Before impact, however, Frieza would be able to catch himself mid-air, oddly enough with a smile on his face even after that losing exchange, as he would then be heard commenting,
"That's right. Rush on it, Saiyan."
And it would be seen just why Frieza was so confident, as he would hold his signature pink energy disc, going on to throw it at Kakarot, reminiscent of the original Timeline's fight on Namek. But that would be where the similarities would stop, as in a cunning tactic, Kakarot would have appeared to have made an afterimage, as he would then be heard saying from a different location, all the while preparing to punch for Frieza, "You'll never get me with a cheap trick like that, Frieza!" While Kakarot's punch did hit its mark, it didn't have the usual force his strikes normally do. The reason why, however, would then be made known, as we would see Frieza's tail wrapped tightly around his neck. And with the struggle to breathe being evident, we would then just hear Kakarot squeeze out,
Can't breathe!"
And with Kakarot seen suffering, the Frost Demon would then be seen with a smug look on his face, as he would then sadistically affirm the Saiyan's demise.
"Now, monkey, this is the end!"
But just as Frieza would assert his victory, his facade would fracture. As the cause of this pain is then revealed to be Kakarot in true Goku fashion, biting Frieza's tail. "You uncultured barbarian! How dare you bite my tail?" As saying those words, Frieza would let Kakarot go as a reaction to being bitten. And Kakarot, being no fool, would then be seen hopping backwards to put some distance between the two. "You really shouldn't have put your tail so close to my mouth when I skipped breakfast," as Kakarot would be heard making a smart remark. He would then go on to get into a familiar pose as he would begin charging a Kamehameha. Kakarot would go on to make a bold claim.
This next attack will decide the outcome. Roshi, this one's for you! Kamehameha!
As Kakarot would begin gathering energy for his attack, Frieza would then be seen floating into the air, readying an attack of his own as if to answer Kakarot's call. He would then go on to say, "How loathsome! I have to resort to this attack on a single Saiyan, but I've sustained too much damage to draw this out any longer. Die, monkey!" As Frieza, the nanosecond he finished his statement, would throw his death ball straight towards not only Kakarot, but the entire Earth itself. Kakarot, in the same moment, would fire off his Kamehameha. Ha! As the attacks would meet in the sky, it would be unclear on just who the victor would be, but Frieza is the first one seen, laughing sadistically and confidently, maybe too much perhaps, all the while exclaiming, "Now watch as your attack fails and you perish!" And while Kakarot would appear to be visibly struggling, it would seem his struggle wouldn't be for more power, but for control, as he would go on to think internally,
"I've got to remember to control my energy. As a Super Saiyan, it's much harder. But if I can keep my energy from leaking out, I should be able to win this."
And in that moment, it would seem Goku's thoughts would have manifested the control he desired, as the impact would be seen on the battlefield. As in an unexpected fashion, the Kamehameha would pierce straight through the death ball.
No! No! This can't be possible!
As Kakarot's blast is then seen hitting its target, it would then shoot the Emperor out into space with his last and final words being,
"It can't end like this! I am Lord Frieza!"
As in the final panel of the chapter, the Kamehameha would be seen pushing the Emperor further and further into space in what seems to be his final end. This version of Kakarot would hold no remorse for the evil Emperor, or any desire for rehabilitation, and finishing this fight, he saved the Earth, but more importantly to him, he completed his training. But that's it for today. If you've made it this far, be sure to drop a like and subscribe so we can get these out quicker. What you're seeing now is a preview of the next chapter. Till then, see ya!